to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Tracey Brown, Tracey Brown. Tracey Brown Live. Tracey Brown Live. Tracey Brown. Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
My favorite symbol is the tree of everything. Supposed to be green. Hi, YouTube. Look at the coloring of these mangoes. Look at that. This came off of somebody's tree. I'm technically not supposed to be eating mangoes, people, but how could I not? How could I not? When in Rome, eat a mango. Okay, so I'm over myself there. Hi, Cassandra, how are you? All right, I'm over myself. Let's get some glasses on. Let's do this so I could show you guys. So I'm wearing something from the Spirit Fair that I went to yesterday. Let me just bring you up here. We should just. Hi, Alicia. Oh, hi, Miss Steph. Thank you. Thank you, pretty in pink. Even my bra is pink. Let me show you. Because I can do that in the Caribbean. Like, I'm going to take this off and just walk around half naked. No, I'm not. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You know, I went to Walmart just to buy bathing suits so that I could just wear bathing suits all day, right? But then they were too expensive. But I did buy them. But they were too expensive. And then I went to Rainbow and I found all of these, which look like bathing suits, right? So I brought these instead to wear underneath my tops so that I could. Do you care? Do you really care of what my mentality goes through here in the Caribbean? It's a mess. It's just a mess. And then, right, the tourists, we talk about this, they're the ones that dress up, right? But I'm with the locals. I'm not at the resort. If I was at the resort, I could wear this shit, right? With the shawl and stuff, right? I could wear this. But no, my dumb ass is messing with the locals. And locals actually dress very conservative. I got things to learn, people. There are just things I need to learn here. I will be conservative, maybe. Or I can just walk around with bras and like stuff. Okay, I'm learning. I heard that Brooklyn put on something last minute. Normally, the East Coast doesn't celebrate Juneteenth. Normally. We Black Power everything, and we're red, black, and green with the fist. So I was very happy that Brooklyn did something. Also, I do want you guys to understand that this Juneteenth came too fast for states that don't normally celebrate Juneteenth. And I do want you all to understand, don't let the media tell you that you didn't know about Juneteenth. You weren't supposed to. The southern states knew about Juneteenth. Okay? They all know about Juneteenth. The eastern states, not necessarily, but we are Black empowerment with the fist and red, black, and green. Now, take the Pan-African flag, red, black, and green, and take the Juneteenth colors, which is red, white, and blue, and you mix that, This time next year is going to be hooked. This time next year, Juneteenth is going to be a whole celebration. Because if you don't know Black folks, let me tell you about Black folks. We show our whole kabunk. We show out. There's going to be clothing. There's going to be dances. There's going to be, I vision it because I could see it this time next year. But they going to go out, celebrate, out, period. And it's going to be fabulous this time next year. You give Black folks enough time to plan? Oh my God. There's going to be a coordination of colors of red, white, and blue, red, black, and green. Y'all just going to make up a whole new flag. I just know my peoples. Or y'all are going to merge the two, and the fist has to be there somewhere, right? Oh my God. Alicia, I know. Texas has been celebrating for years, Alicia says. I know. So don't let the media tell you that you just discovered Juneteenth. You always knew about Juneteenth, media. You knew. Okay? And if you didn't know about Juneteenth, you know about the red, black, and green flag, so it's all intertwined. It's just that with the death of George Floyd publicly dying in front of us, it has really awoken the fight. It has awoken the fight for freedom, for reparations, for police reform, for education in slavery. Let me explain education in slavery, guys. The Jews fight so hard to have you remember how bad their situation was. And let me tell you something, it was disgusting. What Hitler did was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. I can't use a better word than it was appalling, and it was disgusting what this man did to human beings, right? And so they tend to have memorials and museums all over the 50 states so that you would never forget, right? How does our people right here in America that did things to us, how do we get them to understand if we don't have museums, if we don't talk about it, and if we don't have education on Black slavery, enslavement? I was never born a slave. You took me. Remember that. We were enslaved, put into slavery. So with that being said, the education of is vital. One of the things in my Facebook group, because I have a lot of white people in my Facebook group, right? And sometimes they get it all wrong, right? And the one thing I keep hearing is that it's not our job to educate. And it absolutely is the Black person's job to educate. It's exhausting. I get it. But if we keep saying it's not my job to educate you, we can't educate them. So I'm going to task each and every one of you to have one video that you could send to one of your white counterparts when they start asking questions. You just have to say, check out the Salsa Massacre. That was done recently and it was done very well. Check that out as an example I don't know if there's a video on Seneca Village, but I have to tell you guys something. When I was in New York City, Central Park wasn't my shtick, right? And when you're spiritual, you don't know you're spiritual. You look at some things and you're like, everybody just loves Central Park, but I don't get it. So born and raised in New York City, I didn't get the whole stroll through Central Park. Is absolutely beautiful. But I didn't see it the way New Yorkers wanted us to see it. When I discovered that Central Park was a Black village and they annihilated my people to build a goddamn park. A park! Wow. It was a very wealthy village, Seneca Village. We had our own Tulsa in New York City. Something about public domain. And then in California, there's Bruce's Beach. Wealthy Blacks. And what is it? It's not public domain, something domain. And they stole the beach from Black folks. We have always been striving to be the best. And you all have always been jealous as a totality. And there's too many stories like this across the 50 states. So it is our job to educate. And when you speak to someone, is that my job to educate? It is our job to educate. That's how the Jews keep the Holocaust alive. So you educate. I didn't say you have to exhaust yourself and like, listen, oh my God. Okay, so let me tell you about this time. And then there was another time. Don't do that. Because probably you may not have enough inside your spirit to educate properly, especially if you're exhausted, right? When you watch one of those things, I get re-traumatized. I get re-traumatized. So I'm not asking you to re-traumatize yourself to tell the story. I'm saying make sure you have at least one video to offer up to your friends, to your white counterparts, to your coworkers. On Facebook, I've got a lot of white friends on Facebook, mostly spiritual people, but for the most part, ignorant white folks about Black care, right? Not their fault. They never had to care. And so one of my friends was like, I'm going to find some place to volunteer. And I'm like, oh my God, they're not getting it. We don't want your pity. We don't want you volunteering. And then somebody said, I'm going to join a parade. That works. That works. Come join our parade by just being a spectator, because you're going to see something next year. But I've been watching so much in the past 6 months because the media has been resurfacing history for all of us. And so when someone said they were going to do whatever, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. You all think in terms of pity. We don't want your pity. We want you to change. And so I sent them video after video after video. Mississippi, Tulsa, Seneca. I don't even know what else. Like 5 different videos I sent in the feed. And I wouldn't stop. And then I researched and I found another one to send. And researched and I found another one to send. And then one of my counterparts in Facebook was like, I know of most of these stories. And I'm like, stop acting like a know-it-all. That too is very unfair. Don't tell me that you heard about Tulsa. Don't do that. I'm very aware of Tulsa. Don't do that, Miss Know-It-All. I sent you something. Look at it. I'm pretty much sure that you don't understand how Tulsa started. You might have heard about it, but how did it happen? And what are the details? And look at yourselves. As I had to look at my people of color, look at your people of color. Girl, Cassandra, let me tell you something. When Roots came out, oh, no. There wasn't a movement to be found in the house. What was it, 8 days of Roots? No, you did not move. You were fed, washed, sitting down on the floor back in the day because we were kids, and you were watching Roots. And I'll never forget the one song out of Roots I played for New Year's, not January 2020, but January 2020, before the COVID hit. Not realizing everybody's life was going to change. And going back to Africa was going to be a whole thing. Whew. So, remember, it is your job to educate. Do not let others, especially celebrities, tell you that. It is your job to educate. Please have a video ready to say, give me your phone number. Let me send this to you. Please watch it. And I'll call you in about a week. So then we could discuss. All right. So I went to the Spirit Fair yesterday, right, guys? And the first person I went up to was this woman. Her name is Laura Maria Fords. And I love chimes. And look what I got. A beautiful, I can't wait to put this on display. Look what I got. All right. And these are all handmade, right? All handmade. And I am honored to have purchased this from her. It's so unique. And so, can you guys get a good look at that? So unique. And well worth anything that she had priced this to be. Worth it. Can you imagine when the wind is blowing? So excited. Okay. So I brought that. I brought lemongrass because apparently mosquitoes do bother people out here. I haven't really had that experience, but this woman said, you put lemongrass on anything, your mosquitoes will not bother you. I'm not doing the right accent. I got to get my people's accent out here. Did you guys know about lemongrass? Will keep the mosquitoes away. Smells good. I would prefer to put this on after I shower, but I'm going to put it on right now just to show you guys. Wipe off the excess grease. My favorite color, right, Tiffany? Isn't it a beautiful thing? Oh, Tiffany, lemongrass. This woman, everybody, they know things, right? And she goes, I was going to get shea butter. And then she was just talking out loud. Oh, your lemongrass, you never have mosquitoes. And I'm like, what? And she goes, never. And I purchased. Please charge. Of course, eventually I picked the lemongrass. And they also had shea butter. I wanted to show you guys some earrings that I brought from a woman, but she just makes this very unique looking ring that I love with real stones. So instead I brought turquoise because Spirit kept saying, buy turquoise. And I couldn't understand Spirit. But lo and behold, I got me some turquoise earrings. Can you see it? They should be bigger. I'm always with these little dainty stuff, and I really want to go big or go home. Pure silver turquoise. Is that not pretty? What? But it has to be pure vanilla. Yep, and vanilla. And vanilla. I think she told me vanilla was in this. Yeah, she told me vanilla was in this, and that's how I wasn't going to get it, because I don't like vanilla. So she told me vanilla was in here. So Jess Lexi is saying mixed with vanilla. Lemongrass mixed with vanilla. Keeps the mosquitoes away. Thank you. Thank you, Jess Lexi. Okay, so look at this cup. Look at this cup. This is the heart chakra, right? Heart chakra. And this cup is handmade, and on the back, she literally put a heart with some wiggly lines. And I like the wiggly lines because it's like showing, the wiggly lines is like wavelengths to me, and it's like showing that the heart is activated, right? Do you like that? Put this over here. And this is Delora Jojo, who made the chimes. And I'm telling you, by the time I left, this woman had no chimes. So God sent me to her first to get the chimes, right? And then look at this bowl. Now I brought this bowl to keep my trinkets, right? It's just too much of little stuff, little earrings, little stuff that I love having available to just pick out. So I brought this for little trinkets. But here's the piece de resistance. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet, except I think it could hold my tarot cards, right? This is all the solar plex. How beautiful is this? How beautiful, handmade out of clay. Now the person that did this and this and my beautiful cup. I don't have a coffee mug here. Oh. Her name is Sarah Lee Hayes. Handcrafted, custom-made pottery. She also gives lessons. Oh, she's in Frederickstead there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sarah. And she is the mother of the Archangel Ariella. Mm-hmm. So look how when you're tapping into your authentic selves, how your children will carry then their own authentic selves moving forward. So I think that this can hold my cards. Look. These are the cards that I work with every day. Well, I don't always work with this one every day, but oh, I got my other deck. But do you see how it can hold my cards? I could put another deck here, and I might be able to get another deck in the back, but it's not that important. I can definitely get one more deck right here. Do you not love it? I know, I saw it. Do you not love it, guys? Tracy, I want one. I know, Melissa. I don't know how she can ship the clay plates safely. So I think you all just have to come visit me. That's what I think. Why don't we just buy a plane ticket and come visit me? How's that? I gotta clean my hands because it touched the oils. And this I'm wearing from Love and Light. Love and Light is Archangel Ariel. And it's a lodolite, a healing and purifying stone, aids in releasing past trauma. Hello, PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, fear, which I have fear, you know, trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing in St. Croix. Stress, I don't necessarily carry stress, but something about stress. Helps in transformation and change. So it was I really needed this because, as you all know, I'm trying to influence a lot of changes, right? I'm trying to physically make the change, and then spiritually, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, right? Ariella. I wonder what her initials are, EHP and BMC. I wonder what that is. Transpersonal energy healing. I love that. Body mind counseling. Pendulum therapy. Melissa, how much do you love the pendulum? I have no idea what pendulum therapy is, but I'm down. This is my girl, Ariella Hayes, who's the first one to help me to understand why I'm here in St. Croix over St. Thomas. Whew, girl. All right, so let me just clean my hands, but I'm going to keep all these business cards for future use. I just got a lot of things I need to do. Hi, dear. It's very important to understand that, I want to put this in a safe place so I don't break it. It's very important that you understand that all of these things. So then I met, oh guys, I have to tell you, I met a medicine woman. I met a medicine woman. I met, oh, I can't even tell you the feeling that I got from this woman. I met a medicine woman. Archangel Ariella said, oh, meet this woman. And so I'm like, hello. And she, of course, gives back the niceties. And she, I don't know if I extended my hand or she goes to take my hand. Maybe she extended her hand. And she does like this. And I looked at her and I said, you're sizing me up. And she goes, why are you here? And I go, I don't know why I'm here. I'm relocating, I tell her. And she goes, what do you want? And I say, I want to heal. She's still touching me, by the way. I go, I want to heal women. I want women to transform from narcissistic belief system and back into their power essence. And she goes, you come to my woman's group. Once a month, you come. And I was like, I'm there. I'm already there. This Thursday. And of course, I'm coming from the Americas. I'm thinking it must be on Zoom or something. So I say, is it in person? Like, what is it? Do I Zoom? And she goes, it's in person. It's at my house. And I was like, I'll be there. I'll be there. And then she goes on to explain, which I'm not going to do it her way. She goes on to explain about the womb and the power in the womb. And of course I understood it, but I can't explain it the way she explained it. And she's talking to me and I'm like eating it up, because what she is saying, I know. I'm not speaking it. I'm receiving it because I know it. But I also don't insult her by telling her what I know, right? She's the mature. She's the woman. She's the goddess. So I don't insult her by saying, I know this. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know. I listen. Once again, I'm a student. And I'm wide-eyed, and she's talking from this internal power source, and you could just see as she's talking, it's fluid, it's natural for her. And I just nod. I don't even think I said anything. I just nod. And so I am going to go to the women's group, and I am going to go to learn from masters, not to insult, not near one of these women that are there for me to bring in. Like, as much as I think, or you think I know a lot, I'm going to be around women that know a lot. And I'm going to be sitting there, listening, taking it in, affecting change. And with the permission, when that permission is allotted, I will share when it's allotted. I don't know how sacred this space is, but I can't imagine that it has to be too sacred, because I'm around women that want women to understand that they are powerful and that nobody is allowed to tell you whether or not you should and should not wear a bonnet. Because as this woman was talking to me, she had something on her head. And you all are forgetting your feminine power. And I question whether or not you all like yourselves, because it was too easy for somebody sloppy to come along and tell you about your bonnet wearing. I don't know about you. What did you say, Tiffany? There's other things going on in this world. And judging you, it's not my game. Judging you is not my game. Offering up an experience for you as a woman to be amazing goddesses, to make sure that we are not jealous of one another, to make sure that we are not hurting one another. I should be able to stand next to you, beauty, and I should be able to not be jealous, and I should encourage you to be everything, but I expect the same thing from you. And if you can't do that, you can't be around me. If you can't support me, I will let you go. Because I truly understand life is too short. I'm at the age of life is too short. And if COVID hasn't taught any of you that life is too short, why are you here? COVID is a lesson. By the way, COVID is still here. The Delta variant. I told you it wasn't going to go away. Told y'all. Be safe out there, everyone. God is still plucking people. Be safe out there. Be careful when you want to take off your mask to party hard. Be careful. You know what I noticed? All the protesting, no one caught the COVID from the protesting. Anybody notice that? But you go to a party in a club and you shake that thing, everybody gets the COVID. Florida. Yeah, it's a lot of that, Alexi. I found out from Archangel Ariel that when Columbus came to the land, he was met with warriors, women warriors. And his dumbass got scared. And when he came back with weapons and killed all the women off. Really? My name is Tracey, and it stands for warrior. And my daughter-in-law, as in sync spirituality happens, she has a whole tattoo that says warrior. What are the odds? Get some cream on them damn elbows. What did Tiffany say? Yeah, Tiffany, it will, but so will Florida. So will California. Yeah, watch. Well, I don't know anybody that really celebrates Christopher Columbus. I don't know anybody that celebrates. I mean, I think they still give it as a day off, do they? He didn't discover anything that was already there, people. He never discovered America. It was a whole lie. All of it was a lie. So maybe you're right, Cassandra. I think it's time to abolish Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus. Is it still a holiday? Do we still acknowledge? I don't remember acknowledging it for years. They do. I think they, meaning New York City, does. Because there's a lot of Italians in New York City. But I'm sorry, my Italian people. Christopher was not who you think he is at all. And according to Ariella, who really discovered, navigated Christopher's fleet, was Merlin the magician. Not Christopher Columbus. Apparently, he was a dum-dum. Yes, still a federal holiday. Got you, Tiffany. Got you. But nobody, do you notice that people don't really be like, oh, it's Christopher Columbus Day. Let's celebrate. New York City might do. It's just a lot of Italians in here. Hi, pretty Brittany. How are you, sweetie? Yes, I do believe he was working for the Spanish monarchy. Yes. But I don't believe he took those trips. According to, some people that I've spoke to here, because here is a different history. Do you know what I mean? Oh, purposely Pandora. Yeah, let's remove that statue now. Because the way they have told the story in itself has been a lie. Hi, pretty Brittany. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys know it. Any of my Cubans here, there's been a problem with the American dollar in Cuba. Kind of started with Trump. Does anybody understand what the sanctions were with Cuba? Which seems kind of weird because Cuba and Russia go together. And Trump loved Russia. So what was this argument he had with Cuba? Also, Biden is saying they're not going to influence whatever Cuba wants to do, that's not a priority for them. So I don't know what's going on in Cuba, but I'm looking at whether or not this is going to trickle down to to others, right? Because Cuba means Miami is going to suffer. And if Miami suffers, that's going to be a real financial problem, right? But it's now called Indigenous. Oh, Columbus is now called, see, we celebrated Indigenous Peoples Day. Did they change it to that? Guys, that's, again, you got to look at the good side. That's a good thing. Did they change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day? I like it, Kiki. I like it. And thank you. Thank you so much. They're trying to change Cuba. And who is? America? Or is Cuba trying to change Cuba? Oh, it's going to turn into a Cold War. In Hamilton Village, they did not sure about everything elsewhere. It's now called Indigenous People. Yeah, if Columbus is changed to Indigenous Peoples Day, which is what we celebrated in California, which is why I'm like, do we really do Columbus Day? That makes sense. It was changed a few years back, wasn't it? 2 or 3 years back. America is trying to change Cuba. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it. I don't know, because Biden says Cuba's not a priority. Oh my God. No, Purposely Pandora. Indigenous People Day is not Thanksgiving because it's not. That I would have known. But that's Thanksgiving is still Thanksgiving. All right, hold on a second. Which, by the way, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't like Thanksgiving, and I don't celebrate it. And because I'm the only one that doesn't celebrate it, I tend to be alone for Thanksgiving, and I'm okay with that. Plymouth Rock landed on my people. So no, you're not going to make me grateful for nothing. And I don't look not a damn not a damn parade. The Macy's Day Parade does not influence me at all. I think it's Columbus Day, Monday, October 11th. Yep. Monday, October 11th is Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day, yes, Indigenous Peoples Day. Some states aren't recognizing Indigenous people, but who cares about some states? It has to change. It's Columbus Day. So before I get started in the reading, so I'm about to leave the fair with all of my goodies. I'm about to leave the fair after buying this Lobodite, right? Because the last person I wanted to spend my money on was Love and Light, because she really does personify what the name of her shop is, Love and Light, right? She personifies that. So she was my last stop, but she wasn't there, and there was another girl there. And so I got confused whether or not this was Love or Light, or was this girl belonging to somebody else, and she wasn't coming back, Archangel Ariella. And so I heard Spirit say, just buy it from her, right? It's okay, because I brought all the cards from Ariella, right? So just buy it from her. So I was like, hey, so I'm looking for bracelets. Like, I love bracelets, right? I was like, I'm looking for bracelets. And somehow or another, this little Lobodite came through. And so I purchased it. And the more I stood around and she's packaging it and I'm trying to pay, when I said, oh, is this Love and Light? And she goes, yes. I was like, oh, I wanted to buy from Love and Light, but I wasn't sure if it was you, or I got a little confused. I just figured, let me buy it from you, thinking you were just very close to Love and Light, right? In terms of the tent. And then Archangel Ariella comes back and, hey, Archangel Ariella, and, you met my mom, da-da-da. And I said, I just brought some goodies from her. Archangel Ariella's mom is the one that makes the clay in the cup, right? I was like, no, I just brought some goodies from her. It's all good. And then I'm about to leave. I'm about to go. By the way, I met someone that drains your lymph nodes. So when I have that experience, I will let you guys know what that feels like. And I'm about to leave when the girl says to me, I said to the girl, I said, what's your name? And she said, Precious. And Precious is one of my favorite names. I don't say that to her, but I go, okay, Precious, thank you. And I never give people my name because I'm so busy in my head with Spirit, talking to Spirit, that I forget to tell people who I am. So I'm like, thank you. And then I run off. And I do that with Precious. And I'm like, thank you, Precious. And I run off. And she goes, what's your name? And I go, oh, my name is Tracey. And she's like, you too, Tracey? And I'm like, huh? And she goes, purple hair, you too, Tracey? I'm like, somebody recognized me here. I thought I was like all alone. And she goes, I'm a part of your family. Do you imagine what that feels like when somebody says they're a part of your family that you didn't even know you created? Like, I never saw it that way until it came out of her mouth. And she says, you have changed me so much and got me into tarot and helped me to get out of religion and influence spirituality, but bringing God and Jesus along, bring them along, right? And so we took a picture together. And this is Precious. Hi, Precious. You guys don't have a picture of Precious. Let me show you Precious. This is Precious. How awesome to meet your pot of people wherever you might go. You never know. And I am honored. I am honored to meet an angel like Precious. I keep meeting up with some amazing, and she's connected to Love and Light, right? Then to top it off, I get this tarot card reading from this man who had an amazing little boy that was organizing the monies. And I kept saying to the young man, you are doing wonderful. He's like 9. I was like, you are doing wonderful. You are learning how to respect money. And you're doing an amazing job. And so I get this tarot reading by this man. Of course, I forget his name. But it's the same person that makes Vibez Naturals. The same person that makes the lemongrass. So I'll definitely... I took his... Oh, wait. I remember. Hold on a second. There's a lot of people that I met. So this is Sarah. Oh, Charlie. Charlie's the one that empties out your lymph nodes. And then, no, I know I kept his card. Damn it. Oh, I do have an extra one. Charlie. All right, I got to keep Charlie's card too. By the way, you guys are going to meet all of these people as I make better decisions and move closer to making healthy decisions for me. Let me just see something. Because I also asked him to be on my show. This is everybody that was there yesterday. Oh, I met this astrologer, Melinda, from St. Thomas. I have to keep her card. Let me see if I can find his card real quick. Oh, I think it's... Oh, here it is. Akeem. Darn it. Dropped everything on the floor. Akeem O. McIntosh. So he did my tarot reading for me. He was excellent. Excellent. And when he was done, I said, hey, Akeem, I don't have enough men to showcase. And I have this show, and I would love for you to come on to explain how you got here, which he told me the story. And he says, I wouldn't even be here without my mentor. And he's still talking. I'm not interrupting him. And he goes, and by the way, people, learn to listen. Others have something to say. Learn to listen. I promise you're going to learn something. And then he goes, my mentor, Michael. And I was like, Michael Prosper? And he goes, yes, I met him at the university. And I start screaming then too. I was like, oh my God, I love Michael. I call him Archangel Michael. And so then you see how everybody was connected by everybody through everybody. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Are we done? 53 minutes talking about myself. Thank you, Lexi. They're still talking about Cuomo on Cuomo. People are not happy with you, but it is what it is. I can't say I'm necessarily happy too. All right, let's get this party started. I talked too long, as always. Hi, Lottie. How are you, sweetie? I'm so hot now. I always can tell when I'm going to start my reading. I get so hot. Whew. Tell me about this boarding school. That's something in New York State? Or is that the one we discovered in Canada? Because clearly there's a lot of stories about boarding schools all over. All right. Let's look at the Cuban dollar and let's see what is happening over there. And how is that going to affect Miami or the whole dollar industry? Remember, it's a domino effect. And because something has happened way over there in Cuba does not mean you will not get affected eventually. All right? It's all but a game. And we are puppets in this game. All right? Let's take a look. There's something about inner sanctuary. Even though Cuba, to me, is not that financially solvent, they're shutting things down to look like they are protecting themselves. But they also will be hurting themselves. There's something about retaliation. You put a sanction on me, we won't accept American dollars. But to me, it looks like they need the American dollar, and they're acting like they don't. But they're going to lead people to believe that they are better off without the American dollar. I don't know Cuba's history, so I don't know if we've had sanctions against them years past during the Cold War, and how they survived. We know that they survived with the influence of Russia. But so many things are changing, and in today's world, old antics won't work. So, I really feel like Americans, politicians, the president, is saying to Cuba, do what you want. Do what you want. We're not going to, look, you want to disband the American dollar? Okay. You know, because there's something about what they're doing that actually could be hurting themselves in the long haul, in the ever-changing world. Old antics will not work. This is what I'm getting. All right. I'm also getting evolution, earth changes, climate changes, transformation. Guys, whatever Cuba is doing, not only will it fail, but it will create an economic restructuring, right? So it could come down to, I'm really surprised by this, but I have to say it, it could come down to unrest in Cuba. I'm warning you guys, Cuba cannot continuously act the way they have been acting. And this new dollar that's being imposed on the Cubans, it's actually going to make so many people broke. Which means they are going to have their own form of unrest. And this will be a political unrest. And it could come down to, can they tolerate a communist type of regime? It could come down to voting rights. It could come down to you, Castro's brother, Castro's sister, you can't reign over us anymore. Like, you're not getting it for us. And we remember suffering. And we're not going back to suffering. I thought there was a break in the system, and Americans have been invited to travel there. But how dare you? How dare you make people not feel safe when they travel with their American dollar? And how dare you make the people feel unsafe and unfed when people send over money? I think you can transfer money, but you can't deposit cash. So I don't know what difference that makes, but apparently it makes a difference to not deposit cash, but you can, oh, I get it. They don't want the American dollar floating, although there are some stores that only accept the American dollar. They only want the look of their dollar in the streets. So that's why you could transfer the money. Got it. Silent whispers of the heart, the ground will begin to shake in Cuba. And I think 1 year from now is where we will begin to see the rumblings of issues. All right? You will not be on firm foundations if you continue to believe that this is something that needs to happen. There will be disruptions. I'm really surprised by this. And there will be suffering, but notice that she's wearing a sword, carrying a sword. And notice how she's alone on the island, right? This is Cuba. This could be the American dollar. This could be the leaders of the Cuban country. But the people in Cuba will holler back. Thank you, Vitamex. I love that you guys always remind me to tell people, please like, please share, please call me for your own personal reading. Please go to TraceyBrownlive.com. That song that you hear is so you can go to TraceyBrownlive.com to get your own personal readings. I want you guys to follow this next journey. I'm meeting fabulous people, and anybody that I meet for you. Okay? So subscribe and join and call me for your own personal readings, right? So, suffering in silence. All right. I think it might be a feminine influence. This is a Queen of Wands. This is a Queen of Cups. This is the Empress. And I get the Empress to mean like they want to be a part of a bigger system, right? There will be victory, but remember, victory always comes in a form of heavy contributions. All right? I'm not sure what that means for Cuba. If Cuba can't even accept the American dollar, how are they going to accept cryptocurrency? So I'm a little suspicious whether or not they're going to open themselves up to cryptocurrency right now. I get the Ace of Cups, and this is love of my country. I love Cuba, and I do believe that there's going to be a few women that's going to participate in getting you to understand how much we love our own country. Look, I get another woman. This is going to be highly feminine influenced. I don't know how, because that's another state that don't let women rise, but y'all let me know. And it's all going to come down to how Cuba has stopped the American dollar from coming in when the people are saying, we need the American dollar. Give it to us. Give it to us. It's really going to influence some really bad behaviors against the government. These people are not your puppets anymore. And Cuba, like many other countries, are watching everyone else rise up and enact change. And they're not willing to sit back and have this continuous influence over them. They too are tired. This is a really bad move, Cuba. It's a waiting game. So I see the influence will begin in 1 year's time. And then in the second year is where you're going to see fighting and unrest. And by the time we reach the second year, major changes will occur. Cuba cannot stay the same. I see major I'm going to just say protest. The leader, who is the leader of Cuba right now? The leader, is it a Castro brother or family member? The leader, whoever he is, I feel like he's going to have a change of heart. I feel like he is going to get it. Who's ever there at the 2nd year mark, I think he's going to get it. I think there'll be bloodshed. I think people will be hurt. I think he's not going to like the end result in all of this. And I think he's going to say, we played a chess game and it didn't work. It didn't work out well for us. All right. I think the sanctions, thank you, Infinite Natural Mystic, was for the greater good. I don't know if it was against Cuba or against Russia, but it was for the greater good. But, you know, it came through the most rottenest of presidents. And so I don't understand why he did what he did, but I don't see Biden changing it back. Because there has to be something in all of that. And I think it might be a punishment by way of Russia. So there might be some factors that Cuba participates in with the USSR that the government is like, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing, Cuba. And Russia cannot come through you to then get to us, right? That's what I think is happening. Miguel Diaz-Canal. Okay. Does he have an election coming up in the next 2 years? How are their voting systems? I never hear his name for the most part. Thank you, Infinite Natural Mystic. She says I look beautiful. Thank you. I try. Oh, thank you, Lottie. I'm having a spiritual experience. I can't say I'm happy. It's hard to place happiness with fear and confusion and concern. But I am having a shifting experience. And when you shift, it's uncomfortable. So don't let me fool you. I'm going to look good, uncomfortable. Trust and believe. I will not lie to you, though. So I will not lead you to believe that this is all hunky-dory and I'm sitting on a beach, you know, having people serve me. No, I am having a shifting experience and it's different. And I'm meeting a lot of people and I keep looking at them like, hello. So, but thank you. But trust and believe, I'm a Leo, so I'm going to look good, even in the shift of my life. The leader, if it's not Miguel, right, Diaz-Canal, the reason why I say if it's not Miguel, because the COVID is still running rampant. So I don't know who gets to survive the COVID, right? So if it's not Miguel, it's going to be somebody else that is going to recognize that this game of chess, see that right there, that spirit, and he's holding a chess piece and he's standing on a checkerboard, it's not worth it. Next election, 2023. Thank you. I feel like it's going to be that leader. Thank you, sweetie. Look at Kiki knowing her Cuban stuff. Woo-hoo. Go, Kiki. Go, Kiki. Thank you, sweetie. I think it's the next person that comes along that is going to say, it could be Miguel if he wins, right? Or it could be the next person. But by 2023, they don't want to play this game anymore. And you're going to understand why much better later. You don't have to understand it today. But this move to prevent deposits of the American dollar, this move is wrong. Right, Kiki? You like my dance? It's wrong. Tracey, a lot of Cubans came in Jamaica from the communist regime. I believe that. Yes, Miss Tracey, major in history. You got it correct. Love hearing the words all come together, all truth. You did good. Thank you. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me just pull more cards. Let's see how this might end for Cuba. Very painful, because remember, what do we all want to do in the end? We all want to eat. Families are going to start to come together. My cards are sticky for some reason. I don't like that. That's why I keep alcohol everywhere I go. All right. I don't know why that happened. Ooh. Okay. Families are going to stick together. By the third year, there's going to be so much changes. I promise you, there's going to be massive changes that it wouldn't surprise me at all if Cuba becomes a massive tourist, not a little bit, that it becomes a premier place to tour. Not a little bit, not the trickling effect that we got when Beyonce and Obama went, but really like influencing Americans and others to come to Cuba. Massive. Major changes after major loss. Major changes after major loss. I'm wondering, guys, if this change that I think has to occur. What happened to my cards? What happened here? I'm wondering if it has to occur because they have to say goodbye to Russia. Cuba wants to find themselves involved in the world system and global dollar. This is where I think cryptocurrency might have an effect on them. I also think Cuba, by the way, is a very magical place. Can anybody else agree with me there? Very, very magical. Guys, I think they have to leave Cuba. I think so, Kiki. I think they have to leave Cuba. And I think the next election will show that their system no longer works. They've been poor and undervalued for too long. And I just believe I don't know how my cards, only in a corner, so. They're tired of being poor. They're tired of it. And if you see there's a hand underneath one of the cups, what Cuba is offering them, years and years and years extra of poverty while the politicians get to eat well, that's not working for the Cubans anymore. You get to eat well, but I can't feed my child? It's not going to work. I think they want to influence money flowing in. Whoever the next leader is, if it's not Miguel having a eureka moment, then it will, and there's something magic coming out of Cuba. Something magic is coming out of Cuba. And I think it's literal magic. I think it's literal magic. Like magic. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying the influence of their magical properties is what is going to make the economy that much more vibrant. Cuba has something that you all want. Cuba has an herb or some concoction that you all want. Cuba is very sacred ground. They're not poor people. There's something about that ground that you want to be there. Something was preserved all these years, actually. What do you all want from Cuba? There were long lines, and then they ran out of food, right, Kiki? It was really bad, right, Kiki? So imagine 2 years of this bullshit. Imagine. The government was stealing all the money and starving the people. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The people, there's going to be unrest. Not the vaccine. Whatever Cuba has, it's something on the land, something very sacred, something very herbal. And it's been there for years. And you all want what they have on their land. The little bit of time the U.S. opened the border, right, that was during Obama. There were quite a few Black Americans traveling to Cuba. Then here comes 45, closing it again. Is that what happened? The elder women with the long cigarro and the fierce nails are everything. They are the Santeria readers all over Cuba. It's over the island and it's in the water. Oh. Not the vaccine, although, now that you mention it, there might be something related to the vaccine, now that you mention it. So we can't go there at all. Well, I don't know if you can travel there right now, but I can tell you, once the unrest happens, you're not going to want to go there. What you got, Dawn? The guys that was doing the documentary, they ran them out of the country. Of course they did. Because discovery is about to happen. Of course they did. It's going to be up to the Cubans to not allow the government to strangle them anymore. They will bust out of this because this card and this card go together. Goes together like this. Woo, child. The peoples will win. They will win. And they will win by hands of females. Could there be a female leader? Is that something that could be possible? Can you guys see that? Is that something that you all might consider from coming from Cuba? Money will come in, guys. I don't want you to worry. Oh, this ends beautifully. Money will come in, right? This is what you guys want. You want to be flowing of money, right? And you want it eloquently. You don't want to have to fight for tourist dollars, and you won't. There is a chase, right? But I don't know if this is the government chasing a system that just doesn't work, right? This guy is chasing his bike, right? This guy is chasing his bike. The bike is gone. This could be politicians, and literally the bike could be people. They're not going to stand for this anymore, right? Will they get a headache? Because the beginning of these sanctions is, I promise you, it's going to work against Cuba, right? I do get a male influence, though, right? So this could be either Miguel changing, but if it's not Miguel, then it's going to be the next guy. And maybe someone that understands the need to not keep us so prisoned, right? Because the world is changing, and Cuba still, it can't happen, right? All right. But money will flow in. You all in Cuba, your families, you will be able to grasp touristy money, right? Because I just see a big change tourist-wise, right? And not temporary. It's going to be permanent. But I also get the Page of Swords, right? You get what you want. Do you get what you want? Be careful what you wish for. And the reason why I say that is because you might want touristy dollars, but people from other countries are full of shit. And it doesn't mean that people from other countries respect the land. And so if there's something Cuba has and everything changes, because it just should, just remember what comes with more money is greed. Remember that. But if you get the people that are coming in and not be like, I need your money, let them come in respecting your land. You don't do this here, right? That you guys, the sun will shine on your country. There's something very valuable on the land. All right, guys. A female leader will definitely be different in Cuba. The male-dominated Castro regime has been in charge for eons. Maybe an uprising that the people can share their voice for change. Yes. It may not be a female leader, but I would love to see a female leader. I definitely think the uprising will be because of two females. I would love to see a female leader, but hell, I wanted a female leader as a president. And thank God we did get Vice President Kamala Harris in. That is a huge achievement for Americans. So let's get their final outcome. Right, but Dawn's Light, I will never, never mention that. Never. That is not my place. Spiritually, I will never mention that. Even if I got it, some things God would be like, girl. So no, I'm not repeating that. Oops. Let's keep our look on Cuba, and let's, like any other country, I've asked you to pray for India. I've asked you to pray for Japan, especially now that so far the Olympics is still going, but that COVID is not good. Let's pray for Cuba. Let's pray for the people, but sometimes remember, just because we pray for a country doesn't mean we get our wishes, right? Whatever gonna happen in Cuba, it will be on God's time. Yeah, let's not bring up, it doesn't matter that you're not Cuban. I care that we care about Cuba. Does that make sense? Let's not, I don't have to be Cuban to care about Cuba. Okay, so let's not start dissecting the different cultures. Let's just stay focused and love of the people that will begin to suffer. All right? So don't be afraid to Google Cuba and the American dollar and see what the hell's going on. Oh, wait. Right side up, dilettante. delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Dilettante. You know what I'm getting from this? You know, help me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Sometimes I get that Cubans like to appear a certain type of way, right? They like to appear to be educated, intelligent, artistic, sophisticated, right? And that's what I'm getting from dilettante, right? Very delicate, cultural people, right? Separate and apart from Caribbeans and Latinx people, right? They kind of want to stand alone, right? And they do that by artistic influence. That means writing books, their artistry. Who's Frida? Is Frida Cuban? But to the point of not truly recognizing how much people are suffering. All right? How much people are suffering. But writing a book with this whole other delicate look at Cuba, right? So you want people to look at Cuba but not really see Cuba, if that makes any sense. All right? And so when you have autistic people, musicians, painters, artists of any kind, you tend to look at the artistry and see that as culture. But there's a child starving somewhere in Cuba, right? And so unless the Cubans recognize, especially the Cubans in America, recognize that it's more important, and hopefully 45 have shown them that being a Republican hurts your people, because he kind of showed Cubans that he doesn't like them, right? And so it's important to fight for your people. Alexi, they are very educated in the arts and music and have pioneers who paved the way, however, they still segregate on the island, still suffering, still no aid to the Cuban people. Exactly. That's exactly my point. And Magic Mermaid, what do you mean? Did Tracey clean up with the crystals? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. It's as seen as making a way out of nowhere with the arts, right? Similar to the ghettos here, and making sure we have opportunity to drive in other areas. Yeah, I get that. Cuba is timber, nickel, copper, iron, ore. I don't know what that is, petroleum, etc. It's a rich land. So let me read it. Okay, so dilettante, a lover of the fine arts, who never rises above the level of an amateur. I'm not writing this. Please, my dear Cubans, do not be mad at me. I think what they are trying to say, Spirit, is, if you're going to get mad at anybody, you get mad at Spirit. I am the messenger. They are saying if you keep looking at your artistical influence, it's going to get to the point where you are not fooling anyone. By an extension, a jack of all trades, master of none. It's time to tell the real stories. And there are real stories to be told about Cuba. Seriously. An amateur applies to the realm of sports or useful arts such as cooking, gardening, painting, blah, 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 blah. Both can alert you to the danger of becoming merely superficial in your pursuits or losing the love that drew you to your avocation in the first place. Look for a pattern of delighting in the arts or other areas of endeavor without going very deep. Now, I don't know if you all know what I'm talking about. Cubans in America know what I'm talking about. Don't you dare stand there like you are an elitist. Don't you dare. There are children starving in your country. And that is something you need to care about, Cubans in America. Your people are not okay. Check on them and support them when it's time for an uprising. I'm just too tired to repeat everything you just said, Lexi. Are we good? Do you guys understand what this is about now? Ciao. Ciao. All right. Are we good?
Bluetooth mode.
So I want you guys to come with me on my journey of what the hell I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? I just know that God wants me to do something. I don't know what it is. And how many times have you all called me and you all are like, Tracey, I don't know what I'm doing. And I've helped you, right? I've helped you at least crack that code that kept you stuck in the corner, right? What's the famous word of Black people? I'm stuck. I'm stuck. You are stuck. You know why you're stuck? Because you're not coming into spirituality. And then once we start talking, you begin to, you realize you got to break out of this corner that you may have put yourself in. Maybe your mama put yourself, maybe your history of your family put yourself in. Maybe Monique and her bonnets put you back in the corner. And yet, movement has to occur at some point. You can only stay stuck in the corner for how long? You can only stay unhappy for how long? Something has got to give. And losing you mentally, that's not my game. I'm not going to lose my women mentally. You've all been way too strong. You've all been warriors. You've all held down the fort. Come back home to your feminine heights. Come back home. And so what I'm doing here, I'm shifting. I was never stuck, but there's just another level. And you don't have to believe me. In my group meet, I'm always like, guys, get there. I can't stay. But I didn't know what I was talking about. But I was like, I can't stay, but get there. Wherever there is for you individually, time to get there.
No battery.
Because you will be a part of the change, women. And then there will be men that will get it. That will be like, I stand behind you and I support you. Watch. If you think Cuba is going to change, watch how you change. But it will entail releasing pathetic men from your lives and influencing the positive men that are out there that want you to be you and will not take anything from you and will not slap you because you're so strong and powerful, or will not cheat on you because you're so strong and powerful. They're out there and they too are rising. And you won't have people like on Monique's page have this man like dancing about bonnets when he looks like he's scum. When he looks like he's got 5 baby children's out there. When he looks like, who would want to date you? And he's doing this whole jigaboo about the bonnets. Like, screw you.
No battery. Please charge.
And screw Monique that think it's okay to keep up this bonnet crap. Is that the only thing you get to live on? The bonnets? Well, I'm going to let you have it. And I'm going to let you have your people that want to support that. Because my people, we got to go. We got other things to do. And this is not a competition. I'm telling you, we got to go. I'm not staying behind watching men put me down over those damn bonnets. Watch. We are reaching heights, spiritual heights. We are going to be supportive. We're going to be some proud women. And we're going to let pathetic men that did that jigaboo dance on Monique's page, we're going to let them jigaboo. We're not going to stop them anymore. I'm not asking any of you to follow me. None of you. Because my followers, they're just going to be there. They're just going to be there. They're just going to know.
Power off.
All right? Whew. I love you all. Hi, Mary Foster. Look at your name, Spirit Knows Tarot. Hi, sweetie. I want to thank you for your great insight and leadership to others. Well, sweetie, whew, I'm about to go to school here on the island. I'm about to go back in a cocoon, and I'm about to learn some stuff. Ooh, child. Ooh, you think I'm a leader? No. I met the leader. Maybe I could bring her on my show. I'll ask her, because she's a goddess. So I don't want to be like, she's a goddess. Ooh, I'll ask her. Today's Father's Day. Oh my God, oh shit. What time is it? 12, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, 1. I'll wait. Oh, today's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, fellas. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Alexi. Oh, Alexi's like, happy Father's Day to your papa. Happy Father's Day, Poppy. We call him Poppy. Thank you, Alexi. Today's Father's Day, and I'm supported very much so. I'm supported very much so by a good man and a wonderful father. I didn't have that, so seeing it in my life, I understand the role a father has on his children. Yes. Time to embrace Joan of Arc. Ugh, I don't know. I don't know if I want all that energy. She was fierce. And remember, she had to take down the church. I don't know if I want that. Happy State, yes. But I'll look her up and see how her energy relates. All right, sweetie? All right, Miss Tracy, does black salt get rid of ignorant neighbors? No. No, it protects your front door, though. And if seriously, CJ, if you have ignorant neighbors, move. You know, like, find your peace. Move. Leave ignorance where they're at. I'm sorry to say it, but yeah, move. Island Life seems to agree with me. I'm trying. All right, guys, let's get up out of here. I love you. I thank you for putting up with me. I thank you for letting me talk about my peoples. This is an artist here. Love and Light is where I met Archangel Ariel. My heart cup, and she had other chakra cups, but she was like heart, 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 and I was like, I must have the heart. She's like, there's other cups. I was like, no, you said the heart. Give me the heart. Let me just show this because there's new people on right now. My beautiful plate from the same woman. Interesting. That's so funny. I left this card when I went to shuffle behind, and ironically, I said I was gonna leave it because I hadn't included. I had already pulled the card. But look at the bottom card is artist, which was very similar to dilettante. Whew. Man, when spirit tries to talk to you, spirit talks in many forms. Artist. Artist. Could be a chef, a landscaper, easily a painter, photographer, easily a musician of any type. Embodies passion to express a dimension of life beyond the five senses. Shadow artists may manifest in cliches such as self-indulgence. Look for a continued need to make art or to bring art to others by supporting artists. I don't know. Something's going to be seen by way of art. Watch. I just hope, my Cubans, is that you all start being very honest. That you all start being very honest. And I'm not being insulting. There's something inauthentic about how your stories are being told. Very inauthentic. So let's start portraying truth. Just saying. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm only a messenger. And then I got this beautiful plate representing all the chakras. How beautiful is this? Also, I have this thing with sacred geometry. So this represents, sacred geometry as well. And this, I've decided, she's so funny. She was like, do not pack this in your suitcase. And I was like, I won't, ma'am. This was Archangel Ariel's mother. Her name is Sarah. I was like, I won't, ma'am. I won't. I'm going to leave it here. All right. In any case, I love you all. We will visit again, won't we? Nice plate, right? Oh, and love, right? Hi, the name James. Hi. So beautiful, right, Lottie? Are you going to keep your crystals on there? Yes, I'm not returning with any of my crystals. No. I've got a whole system in place. A whole system. Don't worry. I'll be good. I haven't made any big announcements yet, but you'll understand later, Magic Mermaid. Six months is not enough time. I really need to be here in St. Croix, and I don't want to do 6 months in America. It's not enough time here. I really want to live here, and I really don't want to do this back and forth thing anymore. No. I know I have to see my family, so I will make ways to maybe stay out there for a month, but I'm gonna figure things out better. But 6 months and 6 months, that doesn't let me connect and keep my feet on the ground here. All right. What about the babies? What babies? Yeah, Lexi, thank you. Yeah. What babies? What babies? Babies that have mothers? My grandchildren that have mothers? The babies will be fine. Their mothers. No guilt for no grandkids. Nope. Grandkids have mothers. Remember that, people. I don't carry guilt. I listen to spirit. I do what spirit tells me to do. And spirit don't want me worried about no damn grandkids. It's not my job. They have mothers and fathers. And they will all figure out their lives. And I don't need to be a part of that. I trust God, that God made women that could look after their own children. All right? Yes. Yeah, girl. This is it. Thank you, Lexi. Miss Tracey has her own life to live. Right. She had one child. Right. Who's grown. Tell it, Alexi. Tell it. And he, is what I'm assuming, will learn by her example. Exactly. I don't need to stick around and help retrain people. No. I train my son. He will figure it out. Period. And I'm not worried. Remember, I told you guys there was a point when my son and I didn't speak. And although it broke my heart, I trust God in the process. I was never worried about him coming back. Ever. Ever. And when everything was right and meant to be, he showed up. Now, I'll never let him leave me again, but me leaving is for me. And that is spirit bound. I listen to spirit. All right? The grands will be fine based upon spirit. And that's the bottom line. If I stick around hovering over them, spirit's going to be like, girl, we need you to do work. So you better get it or we're going to smack you and you ain't going to like it when we do it. Nope, spirit, where you need me to go? Oh, okay, I'll do it. I love that boy. Alexi. See, Alexi gets it. Alexi's like, Miss Tracey minding her business and drinking all her water. Right. Have a great day. Have a great day on. I'm leaving too. Tracey getting her groove back. No, this isn't about groove. No, I don't believe in Stella got her groove, but we talked about that. I don't believe in that process. I don't believe in that type of sexuality. No, I'm not trying to get my groove. Nobody can give me my groove but God. Seriously. Yeah. And if there's a groove, it's going to be spiritual. All spiritual. But again, I don't know what that means. So come along for the ride. Like, follow, share, subscribe, tell people about me. We got things to do on the island. Come aboard. Let's have fun together. I love you guys. My YouTube is like dead. Bye, guys.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Tracey Brown, Tracey Brown, Tracey Brown Live. Tracy Brown.